Good morning. In the previous video, we discussed the model for the cataloging, and today we are going to touch on three models. The label printing, that is, after you have cataloged, you should be able to print labels for your book. We will touch on this on the circulation, which is very simple, and then we will look at report writing. All right. They are all simple. I mean, the most important was how to catalog, and then we will also look at patron registration, which is also very, very simple. Okay, so let's start. To print labels, you should have catalog. So the model is found at the cataloging. So I just click on the cataloging, and then I come to label creator under the tools. Then there is no label created here, so we go to new label batch. You know, the labels are printed in batches. For example, if you have a batch of 10 books, you can come and print the labels for it, go and paste, come and print another batch. That's why we call them batches. All right. And then there are different ways of entering your batch. You enter by the barcode if you have the barcode, and then you can also enter by the item number, which normally we don't have. So normally it's a barcodes that we use. That means that as you were cataloging, you were adding barcodes. So if you have a batch of 10 books, it means that you have the barcodes for the 10 books. So you are going to list the barcodes here, and it says that one number per line. So you list one barcode, then you press enter, another barcode, and so on. You can also just click on add items if it's empty, and it gives you another functionality. So I'm going to show you add items, and then you have the chance to search for the item by barcode or by any other keywords or search terms that you may want to use. Okay, you can also search by the date you cataloged the items. So you search the date range. So for example, I want to search from February 7th, 2025 to date, and then I just click on search. That is going to give me access to all the materials that I've cataloged since that date range. All I have to do is to either select all, if I need all, or select individual. So you realize over here that whoever cataloged these books, there are no barcodes available. That means that when you want to print, these ones cannot be printed because there are no barcodes available. So the ones that we have barcodes, for example, we are going to add this, add this, add this, add this, and let's say add this. Okay, so you can click done. So you realize that the item numbers that we don't see, they've been added for us over here. So now we can click on add items. So here I said either you are entering the barcodes yourself, which you know, one line, one item per line, or you are clicking on the add item when it is empty, so that you get a chance to search by date and then print the batch. So now we have item in a batch number 2 with 5 items, and so we are going to print labels for it. In printing labels, we just have to click export full batch, and the labels are 2. We have the barcode and we have the spine. The spine gives that call number at the spine, and the barcode is what is printed and pasted in the book to uniquely identify the book. Okay, so if you want to print barcode, you have to make sure that for the template you have selected barcode, and for the layout you have selected barcode. If you want to print spine, make sure that for the template you have selected spine, and for the layout you have selected spine. So let's look at an example. We want to print barcodes, so you select barcode and barcode, then we click export. So we want to export it to PDF so that we can print it. So you export to PDF. That is a normal export of any book, any material you want to download. And so you export it like this. So when you print, you can cut them and paste it behind the books based on the barcodes that you have. So ideally, as you are cataloging and assigning barcodes, you should be writing the barcode numbers in the book in pencil, so that when you print, you can paste the right barcode in the right book. So you can close this and then come and export again and select spine for the core number. So we click export, download as PDF, download again, and then we can open it and see our spine. Now the spine is not reading well here because it has not been cataloged well. Normally it's QA dot something. How so this is wrong. So we may have to go and edit this spine to make sure that it conforms to the core number, and then the system will be able to read it, because the system is expecting some dots somewhere to be able to say, okay, if you see these dots, then write it like this. So this KER actually is supposed to be in line before the S755 comes in 2008. So let's look at the data, the metadata when it comes to the core number in the system, and then when we come back to print, we will be able to see it. So that is it for the label printing. All right, so we go on to circulation. So let's go back home. The next thing is the circulation, and circulation is just simple. After you have cataloged the book and you've registered your patrons, when somebody is coming to borrow, we just come to the circulation. So this is normally handled by the person at the circulation desk. So there's checkout, check-in, there's renew, and then so if somebody is going to borrow, you check out. So you enter the person's card number or student number, I don't know, or partial name, whatever you use to identify the person, but most often we want to use ID numbers so that we don't give the wrong book to the wrong person. So I'm just trying to look for a patron. Okay, so admin is here, and then so the patron's information comes. You're supposed to add the photo, you learn it, and then now you're supposed to add the barcode number of the book the person is trying to borrow. So let's say the person is borrowing this article, blah blah blah. Okay, so you can just check out. Now you have configured the due date is 2 weeks. If your due date, if the date range for book to be borrowed is less than 2 weeks or something, you can let me know. I'll do the editing for you. But then it's 2 weeks, so you can just check out. Or like I did, I clicked on this settings icon and I can specify a date myself. Okay, and then there are some other things. Okay, so you just click checkout. So the book would have been checked out to this person. Now there are checkout details you can see, and it's coming, the due date is on this date. All right, so if the person, let's go back home. So if the person is returning the book, this one is simple. Any person can return a book on behalf of the person, or the person himself can come. So we click on circulation again, and then this time around you click on check-in, and all we want is the barcode. We don't need the person. The book is in. All we want is to check in and say, oh, we have checked in for this person, and so the book is no more with the person. That is it for the circulation. Okay, now let's move on to report writing. So reports are needed for managerial decisions. Maybe principal wants a report of all books we have, books on a particular course you are doing, wants a report on books that are borrowed most, books that are never borrowed, a whole lot of reports. So this is where we create it, at the reporting side. Okay, so with that, we have guided reports. We have reports created from SQL, and then any report you create is saved in the use saved reports. So let's go to the use saved report and see if we have created any report. So far, the only report we created is accession register. So what it does is that it gives us the accession register. So when I click on the run, and then I select the library, which is also, and I click on run report, it's going to give me the accession register 369, and then it has all the records here. So what I'll do is that I can download it in Excel and then do whatever I want to do with it, maybe generate graphs or whatever. Okay, so the best way to generate reports is to use the SQL, and you may need to know how to query it. So what I do for most institutions who don't have IT expertise is that you send me all the reports, like the way we have the accession register. Tell me, oh, I want a report that can do this, I want a report that can do this. What I'll do is that I will come here and develop the report for you. So all you will do is that when I'm done, you come to save reports, and then you will see it in the list. And then all you have to do is to run. So the report will be named. So let's say if you want a report on all broad books, I will generate a report and I will name it broad books. So when you come, you just run it, and then the sheet will come like that, where you see all the broad books. So that is it with the reporting. So I will be generating reports for you, and then all you do is to run them, and then import them, export them to Excel, and then you are good to go. All right, so let's look at the last one, which is very simple: patron registration. So let's go back home. Patron registration is simple. Just click on patron, then new, and then you select if the staff is a student. If you have more, you can tell me, I'll add. If you want me to remove some, because these are defaults, like juvenile, kid, I may have to remove them. But the person is a student, you just click on student, and then you fill the form. The required field is surname and card number, which is the student ID number. The rest you may decide not to fill them, but at least you need the first name of the student and the surname. You also need the phone number, because you may want to call if book is overdue and the person is not coming, and then the student ID number, which is required, and then create a username and password for the student. Okay, they will use it to log in into OPAC and to view their borrowing history, reading history, and other things. So it's also good for them to have an account. And also, when they come to borrow, you are going to search for their names, and then you will borrow the book to the account that they created. Okay, so let's say I'm registering myself, Boache, Akwesi, and then I leave the rest, but you have to fill it. I give my student ID number, and then username Boache, password pass, and then I save. Now over here I can add the image. Click on add, upload, choose a file. So I can upload my photo. And so I have my photo here like that. Okay, then I'm done. So basically, this is how you are going to register your students. So basically, this is what you have to know when it comes to label printing, circulation, report writing, and patron registration. Please let me know if you have any other questions. But because this is an open source library management system, there are a lot of videos online with regards to particular models that you can also watch to get a better understanding. Koha is open source and it's open for all of us. There's a big community that we can all learn from. So let me know after you have gone through this if there are any special issues with regards to this particular installation, then we can look at it. Thank you.